Hey everyone, Sandy here, and today I'm participating along in the Paper House Productions blog hop. I am using some of the Wonder Woman collection that I have left after I have scrapbooked a couple layouts with it. Today I am going to be documenting this photo of my daughter who is away in college right now. This was a 5K run that she participated in for missions at her school, and I just wanted to document that, and I felt like that was a good moment for her. She's a Wonder Woman. She did that 5K, super proud of her. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I have this sheet of white cardstock, and I'm taking inspiration from kind of the brushed effect on one of the papers. And I'm just using my ink pad to swipe across it, and I'm just doing this multiple times so I get lots of stripes. So that's looking pretty cool. I decide that I am going to oxide it up a little bit with using some water, and I do get a little bit crazy with the water. I liked the way it was running, so I just went with it. And then I kind of like did a splotchy thing at the end so that the water with the ink would kind of fade out. Now this paper is very wet, and it is not a mixed media paper or a cardstock that is made kind of, to be able to take that extra. It's just a sheet of white cardstock from close to my heart. So it is still damp while I'm working on it. I did not have the patience to make sure that it dried all the way, and I definitely didn't have the patience to take my heat gun and dry it that way. So I pulled out this little basic stamp set from Brutus Monroe, and my original idea was going to be star stamps with the solid stamp, but I changed my mind after I cut out this W. So this W was from one of the sheets, and it's a cut apart sheet that has 4 6x6 sections on it. And I decided to just cut that W apart because I felt like it was, great. Now, I did leave the background of the W part still in there. I just kind of kept it there. If I really wanted to, I could have cut it out and like pieced it back together because there is separation. But honestly, guys, I wasn't feeling all that work. And it looks good, so that's good enough for me. Now, I am putting these stars on with really no idea of exactly where everything's going to lay out and end up being. But I kind of do it, and it works out good, I think. So there we go. I've got the stars and the blue and my white sheet of cardstock, which is very ripply right now. It's actually still pretty ripply even now that the layout is finished, but it's going to go into an album and that'll help flatten it out. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how this layout is going to go. I do know that I want my photo popping out of this W here. So I've just got to figure out how to build it up out of the W. I definitely want that to be kind of the focus. I'm thinking about somehow incorporating it into my title. I do know that this is a one photo layout, but it's going to take up a lot of real estate on the page. So I got to figure out something. I really like the red, white, and blue. Really a big fan of it. So that is making me feel pretty happy. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this, how I want to build it up, because my initial idea for this page was definitely tucking the photo in that cutout W that I did. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do after that. Like, how much of a photo mat do I need? Where does it need to go on the page? Where is the W coming out of? And I'm really wish I could use this striped paper, but I like the two cards on the front so much that I can't cut into it for the striped paper because I want to use those cards and that fierce looking Wonder Woman there. So I decide to go to my trusty old cardstock here, and I pull out this blue sheet of cardstock. I have no idea where it came from. And then I decide while I was cutting down my white sheet of paper, and I cut that out of the video, guys, because my paper was so warped. It took me a very, very, very long time to cut it into a straight line with this trimmer. So you're welcome. That was a ridiculous amount of time that nobody needed to have in their lives. Let's be honest. So I just decided to cut off an inch or almost an inch on one side of the sheet and just basically use this blue cardstock kind of as a border along the top and the bottom. And I was really hoping what it would do was help stabilize the paper because it is really, really warped. So I repeated what I did on my other layout. I really like that big Wonder Woman face, and I decided, since I had a close-up of Chloe's face, you know what? Wonder Woman looked good right next to her. So I have to say, for these Wonder Woman pieces that I have from Paper House, I have to say that these large 6x6 faces are probably my absolute favorite part. I knew that I was going to use both of them and not the other side, which is the Wonder Woman words like fierce and strength and courage and all those kind of things, because those faces, guys, like sometimes when you see a scrapbooking collection, there's there's certain aspects that you like of it, and sometimes something just grips you and you're like, I love that, have to have it and have to figure out a way to use it. And that's how those Wonder Woman heads were for me. So I decided to pull out some washi tape, and this blue washi tape that I'm using is not from the Wonder Woman collection. It's actually from the Stargazer collection from Paper House, but the blue was a great match, and it has like this little moon and these little triangles, and I felt like it was the same, like it evoked the same kind of feeling once it was actually on the page. It does. It's not like, oh my goodness, I used Stargazer washi tape. It just works. So here I am. I'm messing around again. I'm thinking maybe I'll try something else besides the face, because the last Wonder Woman page I did, again, a big old face, but it just wasn't working. Like I needed that face. See, I even tried the fierce paper again, and then I'm like, nope, got to go back to the face. Really, really love it. Plus, I just thought it was cool. Chloe has these little glow sticks around her head, kind of has her headband, and Wonder Woman's wearing her big old headband, so I just felt like it had to happen. So here's that sheet of paper that I cut the border off of the top because I wanted to do something fun with the bottom, and I'm cutting off a little bit more of the top. I have to watch how much now I cut off of that paper, or I won't be able to get to my maybe my kind of fun ideas I have for that sheet of paper. But you know, I'm using what I got and making it work. So here I have that strip, and I decided to put a banner on it and just go ahead and lay that down on my paper. And then there was a little bit of the printed papers that were next to the 6x6 cut apart, so I just trimmed those off, and I am super, super excited with how this is looking now. So what I have done is matted the photo on some white cardstock, and I'm going to mat the Wonder Woman face on some black cardstock. I did add some of the Justice League washi tape, the black washi tape with the silver stars on it, here over top of the Stargazer washi tape. And I'm a huge fan of silver and gold together, so this worked out perfectly for me. Now here I am just adding some adhesive to my bits, that way I can put it back together. Now, I have rearranged this grouping for how the photo was going to go, only like 11 billion times. So it's not going to be exactly how you originally saw it, and that's okay with me. I am totally okay with that. And this isn't even going to be the final place where it ends. Now, my original thought was to go ahead and nestle my photo underneath of those two stars right there. I'm effectively cutting off one star, and then I thought, I'll just bring my stamp in and stamp in that blank space up there, so nobody will know there's actually 4 stars stamped there because everything's cut off. But it didn't really work out with my papers because, again, they're not exactly the way I had them. So I'm trying to tuck in little bits and pieces and trying to figure out what exactly is going to go where. You know, I'm thinking about cutting into this white cardstock here and creating like a base layer. There's just lots of ideas going on over here, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. Now, I did lose this W for a moment, so I turned off the camera because it took me a little while to find it. I have really just been losing stuff a lot lately. I used to stick stuff with adhesive onto my camera tripod, but then I discovered adhesive is a pain in the butt to get off of the tripod legs. Now I'm just losing stuff all over the place. Sometimes it's on me, sometimes it's across the room, who knows. So I have her finally situated, and as you can see, that one star is only partially covered, so I'm not going to go back and stamp another star because there are 3 stars represented there, and I don't want to add another one. So here we go. I have this little red piece, and I decided to go ahead and make a banner tail on that one as well. So there's like this streak of blue movement, and then there is a place for my photos to rest. Now these are the Wonder Woman stickers, and I am going to kind of go overkill a little bit on the Wonder Woman symbol here on this layout, but I love it. So if you are a Wonder Woman fan, like, do what you want. Or maybe your name is like Wanda Whitestone and like you're gonna plaster this all over the place. So I did pull out these puffy star stickers, and these are from Target, from the dollar spot, and they are a couple years old now, but I do still have some left. So I've decided to use some of the red ones and some of the silver ones. Now, I decided to bring in the silver ones specifically because I do have the silver stars on that black washi tape. So I'm just making sure that since I am doing silver and gold, I'm going to have silver and gold in more than one place on the layout. So we got those stars going on, and I've got kind of this diagonal embellishment line going from the upper left to the bottom right. And then, of course, I have my little star outliers here on the other side of the photos. Now, this is where I get a little bit ridiculous, in a good way, with the Wonder Woman symbol. I go ahead and add this up here, and then I'm going to go ahead and add it at the bottom as well. Now, I did not want to put it on the same exact place at the bottom, so I'm not going to layer it over top of the 2 washi tapes. What I am going to do is layer it under the big W's underneath of the faces. And I'm a big fan. Look at all those Wonder Woman symbols just practically right on top of each other, and I think it's perfect. So then I decide I need one more little symbol, and I'm going to nestle it over here in between these 2 little hearts. And then I'm looking around and I'm trying to think, do I want to add another sticker? I really wanted to add this POW sticker, but I felt like I needed one more, and it just wasn't enough. Like I loved that POW, but I needed something else to kind of tie it in with everything because it was a little bit starting to get a little bit all over the place. So I grabbed some foam thickers, and I'm just simply titling this 5K, and I'm layering it up right here over top of the W because I've created kind of this cluster down here, and I definitely want to keep everything on that cluster. And while the camera was off, I just decided to add a couple more little touches. So I have some enamel dot-like things here. Let's get the soda out of the shot, guys. Sorry about that. Some enamel dot-like things here. So I have this kind of line of embellishments going down this way. I did mix silver and gold because I love mixing silver and gold. And that's going to do it for this layout. The journaling says, so proud of this girl, this Wonder Woman. She did a 5K. Love watching her turn into this beautiful, young adult. Love her. So thanks so much for watching, guys. And be sure to hop along to see what else everyone is making with the Paper House production stuff. See you guys soon.